Okay, good day, doctors. Doc Chino here once again from Focus Review Center. And welcome to Talk with the Top Notchers, where we get up close and personal with the minds, the stories, and the strategies behind the highest ranks of the physician licensure exam. And today we're joined by someone, syempre, who truly exemplifies excellence and very consistent, no? As I've read his CV, very consistent in his journey of becoming a physician. Before we get to know him, let me just make a short introduction. So our guest placed third in the last PLE March 2026 physician licensure exam. And even before medicine, he is already a very good student. He graduated cum laude in BS Human Biology from De La Salle University, Manila, and pursued his MD at De La Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute, where he graduated as cum laude, no, among the top of his class. He took his internship at UPPGH, and as I mentioned, he placed third in the March 2026 PLE with an average of 89.92. So, ladies and gentlemen, doctors, okay, no, please join me in welcoming Dr. Enrico Jose P. Gomez. Doc Enrico, good evening. And once
Good
again,
evening
maraming
po.
salamat for your time here at Focus and we're very, very glad to have you. No, before anything else, Doc, kumusta ka? And how are you doing these days? Syempre.
Hello Doc Chino, good evening po. Hello po sa mga nanonood ng mga med students and interns. Currently po I am in Manila. So we just had our oath taking last week. So currently po medyo nabawi po ng pahinga from the PLE review. I just came from my alma mater in De La Salle. We had our batch Thanksgiving the other day. So mostly po I'm catching up po with friends and with loved ones who greeted me and congratulated me these past few days. So yun po. Also, nabawi rin po ako sa ano ko, physical activity kasi syempre how many months of being sedentary and just reading. Kaya right now, I'm catching up po with my physical activity, jogging sa Luneta, tas starting gym po. Yun po so far yung pinagkakabalahan ko po.
Doc Enrico, originally you are from Manila ba talaga or from other place?
I'm actually a native of Leyte, so waray-waray po ako talaga. So I had my elementary and high school in my province in Leyte. Then I had my college po here in Manila na po. Yes po, until
Oh,
med school.
Oh, okay. So diretso na from that. Okay. So I really am happy na you are fine and you are with us tonight as you were filming this tonight. Basically the questions that we have for you, we can divide it into several parts. We'll begin with of course your experience of topping the boards, paano mo in-approach usually, and then of course at the very end, yung message mo for those who will be taking the board exam as well in the future. So of course, simulan na natin dun sa tanong na to, no? Since you are one of the top notchers in the last PLE, how does it feel to have passed and top in the physician licensure exam? Anong pakiramdam, Doc Enrico?
Mm. Honestly po Doc 'no, it has been more than 2 weeks na since the release of the PLE results. Pero at this point, it still feels surreal and unbelievable because of the difficulty of the exam. I'll be honest po, I was aiming to top talaga the PLE, but I was not expecting to be among the top notchers because yun nga po, the exam was difficult and I had multiple guesses across subjects, especially in Prev Med. Nonetheless po, right now I'm overflowing po with gratitude to my family, to my professors, and the very important people po who helped me reach this point. So yun po parang before pinapangarap ko lang po ito and now it's reality. So still in cloud nine at the same time kinda anxious din of the expectations set by people sa akin, especially my future seniors when I go into residency. So I just hope lang po na I'll be able to overcome more difficult challenges and obstacles as I become a resident as a licensed physician.
So, nabanggit mo din, no, some of your colleagues or maybe yung mga seniors that you are when you go into residency, they will be your seniors and of course your family. Were was there some sort of pressure, no? Gusto nila na mag-top ka, or they were really pushing you to top, and nagamit mo ba yon to achieve what you have done in the boards?
Yes, to be honest, yes po. Noong October PLE po, nung release po yung results, some professors messaged me. They asked me if nag-take na ako ng exam kasi they were surprised na they did not see my name and they were expecting na I would pass. Pero I told them na hindi pa po ako nag-take ng October. I'm going to take the March kasi I was tired from my internship in PGH and I needed to parang gradually step up my study habits and my study pacing. Pero deep inside po, syempre, hindi ko naman sinabi na I was really aiming to top. Kaya ako nag-March. Also, of course, my family, I mean, my mom talaga, I told my mom from the very start na I'm going to take the March PLE kasi aim ko talaga mag-top. So, di muna ako mag-October because, of course, I knew naman po, I'm confident naman po, I'll be honest about it, I'm confident naman po sa self ko na I think I will pass the October boards. Pero, yun nga po, di ba, sabi nga po, the PLE, ideally should be taken once in your life as a doctor. So, you should give your very best in that exam, that most important exam of your career. So talagang from the very start, I really aimed to be among the top notchers. Kaya I chose to delay po until March. And that pressure coming from my family and from my seniors really has helped naman po for me to reach my goal right now po.
So, yeah, no, for context, Doc Enrico was also one of our students here at Focus, no, during the October reviews. And I medyo na surprised din ako, no, when I did not see his name on the boards, no, but hindi ko na rin na-confirm sa kanya, but I was really thinking na he would be taking it this March. And sabi ko nga palagi, we have different reasons if we delay the exam, no. Some students do it, some choose to take the exam kaagad-agad, no? Depends on the person, but at the end of the day, if you pass the PLE, it doesn't really matter, no? And for Doc Enrico, definitely it became more of an advantage to him. Pwede. Okay, no? Ito yung isa sa mga common questions, no? We can go na dito siguro, no, sa mga strategies that you did, no, during
Mm-mm.
the exam. So, when did you begin studying for the boards? And do you think if you have studied early, meron siyang advantage for the boards?
Opo. So, ayun nga po, Doc. Sabi nga po nila, the best time to start preparing for the PLE is during med school. So, during my med school years, I was a frequent delegate in medical quiz bees like the APMC sa regional tsaka national level, as well as yung Dr. Agaton Panopio Medical Physiology Quiz Bee, pati rin po yung sa Thailand, yung Siri Raj International Microbiology Competition. So, these competitions and quiz bees largely help my foundation po in the basic sciences, especially in micro and physio. So, going back to the question, I officially started my review po on my last month of internship kasi luckily for me, my last rotations were benign, mga minors po sila. So I was able to start talaga reviewing on July last year. I recall nasa ER po ako at saka sa OPD kapag wala pong patients, I would answer the test bank of focus review while waiting for to-dos and patients. And yes po, very helpful po if you start early sa pag-study mo. As early as you can, it's best if you study early because you'll get to have an advantage in consolidating information for the long term and you'll get to have more time studying more difficult subjects as well as you'll get to cover a broader scope of references, flashcards, and practice exams.
So, medyo mahaba, no, yung study period for Doc Enrico since sabi mo you started July pa, no? Was it like syempre iba yung experience ng ibang mga students kasi they get to study only like 3 months or 4 months.
Mm-mm.
Parang ang bigat ka agad. So, yung ginawa mo ba is like you space out the study in such a way na hindi masyadong maraming oras ang ginugugol mo since medyo mahaba yung time ng review. Ganun ba yung experience mo?
Yes po, Doc. Siyempre po nung July since I was still an intern in PGH, mga around 2 hours at most lang or 2 to 3 hours at most lang yung a day yung study ko po. Pero when I graduated po from internship nung August, I started lightly muna, parang 4 hours a day, 4 to 6 hours a day po. Then as the months went by, mga bandang October, November, December, parang I was gradually ramping it up to 10 hours, 12 hours. Then yung pinaka-peak ko po talaga was January to March. I was already studying at 14 to 16 hours a day na wala pong day off. Those months po.
So, siguro in connection with that 'no, so nung medyo dulo na pala nung review mo talagang very rigorous. Were you did you study more on the night, sa gabi or sa umaga? Anong
Um,
anong yung
mm.
strategy mo?
Yes po. Ako po kasi, I did my best po talaga to follow a strict, schedule and body clock para hindi po masira yung circadian rhythm ko. So, I am a morning person. I would usually wake up at 5:30 in the morning. So, from 5:30 AM, until 11 in the evening, yun po yung, study time ko po. So, mga more or less mga 16 hours, 14 to 16 hours po talaga. Pero usually, ano naman po, I would put naman po breaks in between. Basta yung discipline ko po sa sarili ko during my peak months from January to March, dapat hindi ako sosobra ng 2 hours of break per day. So I try to put mga short breaks in between para hindi naman po sobrang mapagod, ma-burnout. Especially syempre like buong araw ka nakatutok sa screen at nakaupo ka lang the whole day. Pero yeah, for ako po, I'm a really ano talaga ako, morning person. I would also drink coffee sa umaga para hindi ako antukin the entire day. And I would make sure to always stick to my schedule na by 11 dapat lights off na ako para the following day gising ako ulit ng the same time that I woke up. Yun po.
Okay. So, we have another question. Ito Doc 'no, does being a graduate of a particular school or since you are a graduate of De La Salle and then you went into internship sa UP-PGH, meron bang naging advantage yun do you think for you?
Um, I could only speak of course po for my institution where I came from. So, siyempre po sa HSI, yung curriculum po namin is more of parang, ano siya, system-based tapos integrative siya and parang heavily focused din po kami sa basic sciences. So, helpful po siya sa foundation ko po. And when it comes to internship naman, meron naman talagang perks if you go into, private or public. Ako kasi since I came from a private hospital and med school nung, clerkship ko kasi, De La Salle UMC kasi is a, private hospital. I wanted to, gain more experiences and perspective sa internship. So I chose to go for a public hospital and I know naman po na as you all know po PGH kasi is a competitive and it's one of the most prestigious public hospitals in our country. So I really aimed to go into PGH for internship because I wanted to be exposed in mga zebra cases, yung mga cases na we only encounter in books. And I also want to be under the tutelage of yung mga pillars sa mga fields like yung mga authors ng mga CPGs kasi most of them are in PGH. So I really did my best po na doon ako mapunta sa PGH. And for me po like being an intern of PGH itself, hindi ka makakapag-aral talaga that much as an intern in PGH kasi you get to do mostly scout work kasi as we all know, PGH kasi sobrang daming patients. But the thing is, even though yung study time mo sa PGH medyo konti lang, you get to be exposed to a lot of cases that you only read in med school. So, in a way, nare-reinforce yung knowledge mo, yung clinical knowledge mo from your third year and clerkship when you go into PGH. Uh, on the other hand naman, like based from what my peers told me, yung mga peers ko na nag-internship sa mga sa private hospitals, they get to have dedicated time for studying for PLE. And since mas benign sila, they get to have more time talaga to review. So those are the two perks naman. So if you are in a public hospital, you get to be exposed to a lot of cases, although less study time in the actual duties. While in the private hospital, mas benign, but you get to have more review time. Yun
Okay, so
po.
parang it has its own advantages and disadvantages. Maybe what we were able to observe from Doc Enrico is he took advantage of the advantages, no? Parang ganyan, no? Okay. Ito Doc 'no, common question 'to ng mga students namin especially here at Focus. Um, Reading notes versus answering questions 'no, what was better for you in your own experience or equal lang sila?
Definitely po, answering questions. Actually, 'di ba po, studies have shown talaga that, long-term retention of studied material is best achieved by answering practice tests since you get to actively retrieve the information that you have studied. However, it should be balanced din po by reading handouts on the topics or subjects that you are, weak in or still need improvement. Kasi medyo for me, it's counterproductive if you dive straight into practice questions in your weak subjects without kahit malang brushing up on those concepts that still need reinforcement. So in a way, we answering practice tests is still superior, but you still need to read your notes and handouts on those weak topics and those weak subjects that you have identified while answering practice questions.
Okay. So parang it's a combination 'no, but your usual practice is tama ba ako ng pagkakaunawa 'no, you read handouts first and then you test yourself using questions, parang gano'n?
Yes po.
Okay, sige. Okay, let's talk about some of the materials. Did you have a still had the time to read books during the exam or during the review period or mostly handouts na? Or did you incorporate other platforms sa pag-aaral mo?
Okay, so during the review period, the reviews period itself po, since I started po nung mga July pa, tas I had a longer period of time to study, I was able to read Robbins, although few chapters lang, and also BRS Anatomy and Physiology. So I read those review books during August, September, October, during those months. But towards mga bandang November, December, and onwards, I focused na po talaga on handouts and practice tests given by the review center po. Yung mga pero po, I would advise din po if there are any medical students watching right now, habang nasa med school pa, please read your textbooks talaga kasi really helps to build your foundation. Kasi yung mga review materials ng review center, although they really help you sa mga must knows, they will not cover everything. So early on pa in med school, try to read your textbooks because they will really build your foundation for the PLE.
Okay 'no, so na-share mo na rin 'no, magandang tip yon 'no during med school. Were you able to do the same 'no? Kasi may mga students, I am familiar with some of my classmates, I remember 'no when I was still a student. Mahilig silang magbasa during med school pa lang ng mga transes, summaries, and things like that. Were you also like that in med school or talagang binabasa mo sa libro and then you get familiar with it?
Hmm. Actually, Doc, to be honest, combination po. Yung alam ko po na subjects that I really read the textbook sa Patho talaga in second year, I really read Robbins cover to cover. Hindi ako nag-trans nung Patho because we were told na Patho is a really difficult subject. So I really did my best to read Robbins cover to cover nung second year med. And also in my internal medicine, I also tried to read Harrison's. Pero syempre po, dahil nga po gawal sa oras minsan, I would end up reading transes din sa ibang subjects like surgery. But for the textbooks talaga, I was able to read Guyton, Robbins tapos ko Harrison's, yung mga mas no chapters, tapos Williams sa OB. Yun po yung mga books talaga na I was able to read. But for the rest, transes. Yun
Okay,
po,
so parang
lifeline po ng mga medical students.
okay, sige. So, yeah, no. Ito Doc, no, I think this is also a very good question. During your review, no, especially siguro nung medyo nasa intensive phase ka na ng review, did you have any non-negotiables? Like, yung iba kasi, kailangan meron silang set time ng tulog. Yung iba, hindi sila nag-aaral ng Sunday. Okay, or a specific day. Okay, meron
Mm.
silang exercise or laging may pagkain na kailangan nandun. Did you have those?
Ano po Doc, nung early phase ng review ko, I was still able to exercise. I was able to jog pa sa Luneta, mga 1 hour a day, ganyan. Pero towards the intensive period na from January to March, hindi na ako nakapa-exercise. Tapos Pero yung non-negotiable ko talaga Doc was coffee. Since sa tapat ng condo ko may pick up coffee. Yun yung parang pinaka-ano ko, namo-motivate sa akin na, "Okey, may coffee tayo, we can study productively." Gano'n po. Pero yung sleep naman, ay parang bihira lang po yung time na nagnanap ako during my intensive phase review. I will only sleep talaga mga 5 to 6 hours a day lang talaga. Sa gabi lang ako natutulog. All the rest, aral talaga.
So, talagang dedicated si Doc 'no? But the non-negotiable was coffee 'no? So, parang yun yung tropics niya during the review. Ito Doc 'no, how did you keep your sanity during the review? Kasi alam natin, the review period is really, really demanding not only intellectually but more so, mentally 'no?
Yes po.
So, paano ka hindi nabaliw 'no, during the review?
Ayun po 'no, siyempre po kasi, I would always tell myself and my juniors na you should love what you study para hindi siya maging burden. So, nakagawian ko na po talaga siya since med school na, I love every subject of med. Kahit yung Prev Med na least favorite ko, I told myself dapat ko 'tong mahalin if I want to become a competent physician. So, yun po parang kahit, yung mga inaaral ko iniisip ko, this is for my future patients, so I should do my best to absorb this for the long term so that I'll be competent enough to care for them. And of course po, during the intensive months, like nung mga January to March, every evening before matulog, I would call my mom, call my relatives, na kumusta. Also, I also have a partner, so parang every now and then, nagkakamustahan kami just to check up on each other and para din po makatulong na mag-distress kahit papaano po.
So, Doc, Enrico was really very lucky 'no. I think maganda yung ano, emotional support 'no, coming from your family, your loved ones 'no. So that's very good if you have that. Okay, now let's go to some, more specific questions concerning the PLE. And of course, ang unang-unang laging tinatanong sa atin 'no, ano yung pinakamahirap na subject sa board exam at ano naman yung pinakamadali? So for one that is a top notcher like Doc Enrico, ano yung pinakamahirap and ano yung pinakamadali?
Okay po. So I will answer this question po in parang three phases. Like, ano yung pinakamahirap at pinakamadali for me during the review, pinakamadali at pinakamahirap for me during the actual boards, and yung grades and actual score ko sa PLE. So, during
Mm,
the review period, I was most confident talaga in pharmacology, micro, biochem, and patho. Kasi my foundation po in HSI helped me in these subjects. While I was least confident during the review sa PrevMed, anatomy, surgery, and OB. Kasi sila yung parang modest scores lang ako sa mga practice exams. In the actual boards naman, expectedly, pharma, micro, and biochem were my easiest. Parang sila yung subjects na I was able to finish them mga since in the PLE, 2 hours 'di ba per subject, I was able to finish them 30 minutes ahead of time and I still have time to review my answers. While the most difficult for me was Prev Med, Physio, and Anatomy. Sila yung mga subjects na mga 10 minutes na lang before time, I still had some blanks na hindi ko pa na-answer. And the biggest surprise for me was surgery because I was anticipating surgery to be the most difficult subject as seen in the past PLE trends. But for our
mm.
season in March, I was surprised that there were a lot of med school basics and must-knows, which made the surgery exam bearable. So all overall, this reflected in my scores sa PLE. So yung pinakamataas ko po na scores were Pharma at Micro and my lowest po was Prevmed.
So, bet and I think that's the lowest para sa karamihan 'no. So, ibig sabihin 'no, your strengths during the review, parang it became consistent up to the boards with maybe just a few nuances and then yun din yung lumabas sa scores mo 'no, parang gano'n 'no.
Yes po.
Ito 'no, another, interesting question 'no, in your experience sa March 2026 PLE 'no, palagay mo ba merong mga favorite topics in the boards? Meron ba silang mga nabigyan ng konting focus yung ating mga board examiners?
Actually yes po. From what I recall lang po Doc Chino, so like sa anatomy, there were several questions po sa GI and thorax. Tapos medyo kaunti on neuro sa anatomy. Sa physio naman medyo maraming renal physio and medyo trend breaker ata yung physio kasi there were some clinical questions talaga na parang pang IM tapos mga USMLE style questions na hindi ko na encounter sa BRS or any of the review materials. And sa pedya naman, sa na pagkaalala ko po, um, tetanus and botulism, surprisingly marami po. Pati rin po about nutrition also in pediatrics. Sa biochem naman, I was kinda sad kasi less vitamins kasi I really studied hard talaga on vitamins. Pero heavy on immuno, pati mga laboratory techniques or mga biomolecules like yung mga Burette test, yung mga Fellings reagent, mga ganun po. May mga lumabas po sa biochem. Sa micro naman, yung medyo nag-stand out for me was infective endocarditis. Around 5 questions about that. Pati yung RHD also. Tapos sa patho, sa pagkaalala ko sa patho, GI patho, pulmo patho, and of course, ever since po yung mga first few chapters ng Robbins. And PrevMed po, I really studied hard dun sa mga computations, yung mga odds ratio, relative risk, pero wala pong lumabas na mga computation. Ang dami pong mga lumabas sa PrevMed na hindi na-discuss sa med school at wala rin sa review center. So, talagang you only have to use your gut feeling talaga kung ano yung sagot dun. Kaya talagang sobrang ko ng panghina ng loob sa PrevMed. At akala ko baka hindi ako mag-top na kahit pumasa na lang ako dahil sa PrevMed.
So
Yun po,
ano,
Doc.
no, kahit na top notcher si Doc, meron pa rin mga questions na kumbaga parang nanghula ka, no? Tama, Doc, no? Parang gano'n, no?
Yes po.
Okay, no? So, nobody's perfect talaga, no, sa board exam and hindi natin mapipredict lahat, no? Nabanggit mo na rin, Doc, no? After the exam kasi, there's a general feedback na kakaiba yung board exam na to. Parang medyo mahirap siya in a way because of the phrasing of the questions. Mahaba siya, which is a little bit unusual kasi yung mga previous are more, siguro sabihin na natin more direct. Do you have the same consensus? Parang na-match ba niya yung expectations mo kung papaano sinabi ng mga review centers or maybe naging feedback ng mga seniors mo sa'yo? And then what came out in the board exam in terms of the format of the questions?
Mixed po, Doc. Like for example, in pharmacology, most of the questions were one-liners, direct to the point. Pero yung mga ano talaga, sobrang kong hindi in-expect talaga yung physiology. Parang a lot of questions were at least 3 sentences, tas multi-step siya na mga clinical. There are also multiple crossover questions like in micro, for example, micro talaga, one of the deal breakers talaga was micro kasi I was thinking micro was going to be a giveaway kasi yun po yung sabi ng mga review takers. But for our batch sa micro, I think almost 10 items na IM related and surge related lumabas. Like, tinanong po about sepsis, SIRS criteria sa micro. Kaya I was really surprised. Pati rin po, I recall there was a question din po about CMV. Tapos, ano ba yung diagnostic na gagamitin mo? So, parang IM talaga siya. Not so on micro. So, yun nga po, yung micro, although I would say po na mataas nga po ang score ko sa micro, pero during the exam itself, I was kind of shocked lang na marami pong crossover questions na nagsilabasan po doon. Yun po. And but for the other subjects naman, I think pretty naman siya consistent sa OB, sa Pedya. PrevMed, yun, PrevMed talaga was, sabi talaga PrevMed mahirap and talagang mahirap talaga din siya hanggang ngayon. Yun po. And overall yun naman po, yung ano talaga, yung nag-deviate lang talaga was for me, micro, physio, yun po, those subjects. And of course, surgery. Like I would have said po, I was thinking na surgery would be like a resi level type of exam, but I was surprised na medyo mas dumali siya for our batch po.
So ano talaga, it's a mix of parang na-surprise ka na natuwa ka and na-surprise ka na na-surprise ka, no?
Yes
I'm
po.
just curious, no, Doc, Enrico, baka pwede mong sabihin, magkaroon tayo ng konting score reveal. Ano yung highest
Sige po.
grade na naabot mo? What was the grade? What was the subject? What was the grade?
Okay po. So, my highest po was pharmacology po. I got 95. My
95.
opo,
And then
my next
kahit yung lowest na lang, para
sige po.
makita natin. Uh,
My lowest po, Doc, was PrevMed 84. And
84.
And your subject, Doc Paso, which is also one of my favorite, 90. Share ko lang po.
Okay, so parang nasa gitna 'no? It's between
Opo.
84 to 95. Oh, alam niyo na yung ano, range ng mga scores ni Doc. Okay, so after the board exam, siyempre 4 days na nag-exam, nakakapagod. And then comes the most difficult part, okay 'no, of the PLE, which is yung post-exam, which is the waiting time. So can you
Opo.
describe your experience during the waiting time, and what did you do to occupy your time?
Okay po. So, the waiting period was from April 1 to April 7. So, isang week din yun. So, right after the board exam, so I helped my sister move out from her condo kasi my sister and I, sabay kami ng board exam season. Like, my sister kasi took the civil engineering board exam on the same week po as the PLE. So, pagkatapos ng PLE ko po, the last day, ayun po, lumipat yung kapatid ko, she moved out, so I helped her move out sa condo niya sa QC, and then we went home sa Leyte, sa province ko sa Leyte. And during those times, parang ano muna ako, tanggal muna ako ng SOCMED para mawala sa isip ko yung results. Kasi minsan po, di ba sa Facebook, yung mga PRC na pages, may pa-reveal sila, so nakadagdag lang sa anxiety. So during those days na nasa province ako, I went back to my hobby, which is jogging around my barangay, my community, para pampawala ng stress. I also watched movies din and played some video games po. And I also yun po, caught up with my cousins and relatives during that waiting period. Yun po.
So, meron bang ano, parang, ano bang tawag natin dito, no, yung every night before you sleep parang merong paulit-ulit na nagre-refresh ng PR website ng PRC just waiting for the results?
Ito po yung nakakatawa dun, eh, kasi ako talagang hindi ako diyan, hindi talagang nagtanggal talaga ako ng ano, Facebook, pati ng mga ibang social media. Pero yung mga kamag-anak ko na yung mga kamag-anak ko, sila yung refresh ng refresh. Parang sila yung nagme-message sa mga GC namin na, "Uy, kailan na lalabas yung result?" Ta's they were also asking me na, "Uy, alam mo kailan lalabas yung board exam niyo?" Sabi ko, "Ewan ko, baka next week pa." Kahit sa April 8 na. Kasi I remember nung April 7, they asked me, "Kailan yung results ng ano, ng PLE?" Sabi ko, "Next week pa daw," kahit kinabukasan na. Para lang tigilan na nila ako kasi siyempre nakakadagdag lang ng kaba, gano'n
Mm.
po.
So, siguro can you share with me or share with us, paano yung naging experience when you knew the results? May nagsabi ba
Ah,
sa'yo, may tumawag
opo.
sa'yo?
Okay po. So, that day, April 8 po. So, mga a few hours before lumabas yung results, nag-jogging po ulit ako, 5 kilometers sa ano namin, lugar namin. Then, before ako umuwi, nag-drop by ako sa simbahan and I prayed na sabi ko, "Lord, I give my very best po sa review, kahit makapasa man lang ako. Pero Lord, if man lang maka-top notcher po ako, I'll be very grateful for life. I'll never get tired of praising and thanking you every day." Yun yung pinagdasal ko before ako umuwi that night. Then pagka-uwi ko, ayun po, syempre nabihis, kumain ng dinner. While I was eating dinner with my family, parang I was thinking na, ano ba 'to, ba't parang 7:30 na wala pa rin yung PLE results, baka mamaya pa 'tong madaling araw. Then habang kumakain ako, biglang nag-notif yung cellphone ko. Yung co-intern ko sa PGH nag-message sa akin, naka-all caps, sabi niya, "Congrats, I knew you would top." And I was like, "Oh my God." Parang di muna ako nagsalita. Parang siyempre my heart was racing na, di muna ako nagsalita, and my mom and my sister were looking at me, sabi, "Uy, ano nangyayari sa'yo?" Ta's parang, ah, parang hindi muna ako naniwala. I I tried to go to the PRC website, pero unfortunately hindi ko mabuksan. Then yung GC ko with my med school batchmates, they were all ano na, congratulating me. Ta's nung nagsend na ng picture ng top notchers, nakita ko na dun ko nakita na, oh my gosh, sabi ko, "Lord, pinagdasal ko lang maka-rank 10 lang ako, pero oh my gosh Lord, grabe ka, top 3." Andun na parang sabi ko, dun ako napasigaw, "Ma, top 3 ako." At ayun na, nagsigawan na yung nanay ko at yung kapatid ko, umiyak sila. Ako hindi ako makaiyak kasi I was, top 3, ang hirap ng exam, ang dami kong hinula. I was expecting na kahit pumasa man lang ako, pero grabe top 3. Kaya hindi ako nakaiyak, parang I was just speechless, shocked, and ayun, full of gratitude kay Lord na grabe, hindi ko po in-expect na gano'n pala kataas I was aiming man lang ng rank 10 man lang, pero grabe, more than that pa ang binigay sa akin. Kaya, yun po, talagang sobrang ano po talaga yun, double celebration ng family ko. Kasi, noong April 7, lumabas yung results ng civil engineering exam and my sister passed the exam. So, the following day, lumabas din po yung PLE and I also passed and top the boards. Kaya, masaya po yung buong family ko po that time. And for me, it's really one of the happiest days and moments of my life. I would gladly look back years from now po.
Napakasarap balikan, no? No, the time that you knew
Opo.
the answer. Really, especially for your family kasi dalawa kayo, no, na pumasa ng board exam and may extra blessing pa, no, with you topping the boards.
Opo.
Okay, now let's move on to some questions na parang medyo punta tayo sa aspect na giving advice to the next
Opo.
takers of the PLE. Okay, no, unahin natin, no? Ito common problem ng mga students, no, before they enter the review. What if I did not meet or study a lot during med school days? Anong ma-advise mo to someone na hindi masyadong, sabi niya, no, hindi nakapag-aral during med school, and how he or she should approach the review and the board exam?
Mm. So, I would assume po that those who are watching this video are currently interns who are almost done with their internship or medical students. So, sa mga interns na nakikinig, I would advise to start reading on the cases that you are seeing in your current rotation. So, for example, nasa OB ka, so make sure to read about the etiology, pathophysiology, about the cases that you're seeing, and try to apply yung mga basic subjects in your current rotation. So, let's say OB ka, try to review about female reproanatomy, reprophysiology, pati pathology of the female tract. And during your free time also, like if let's say benign ka na rotation, try to answer na rin mga practice questions. And once mag-start na yung review season, for most of the interns kasi, August nagsisimula. So, kung ano yung prescribe na schedule sa inyo ng review center, try to follow it. But for me, ako personally, hindi ko sinunod yung advice na dapat one subject per day. Ako kasi I try to integrate topics across several subjects. So siguro in a day, I would study at least three subjects and I would integrate them with each other. And important also na during the last month or last few weeks, dapat naka-focus ka na sa very must-knows, like yung mga flashcards na lang, dapat mga practice exams na lang yung ina-answeran mo. Kasi yun nga po, sabi ko nga po na answering practice exams would help you retain information for the long term. So during the early part of the review, you can read your handouts, also be smart din sa pag-highlight kasi minsan, you get to highlight so many things na parang that highlighting gives you a false sense of security na okay, na-highlight ko na siya, alam ko na siya. Pero you will forget about it then after a few days. So try to highlight only what really matters, mga keywords lang. And yun, always supplement talaga with practice exams and flashcards. Yun po. And for the medical students na nanonood, yun nga po, read your textbooks. Wag lang puro stances. Wag lang tipong I'm only gonna study this for the exam then throw away whatever you studied. No. You should study for the long term, integrate always kasi itong aral mo for the long term will be your investment talaga for the PLE. Para by the time na nag-review ka na, hindi ka na mahihirapan. Parang simpleng ano na lang siya, refresh na lang, recall na lang. Hindi yung tipong first read mo pa lang or parang hindi mo siya nabasa at all during med school.
Okay. So, yan, no, at least be familiar, no, with some of the topics. Sana hindi siya, sabi nga ni Doc, nung first time mo pa lang na makikita, no, when you encounter it during a review. Now, knowing the state of the um, review system here in the Philippines for the PLE, most of us online, no? So, I
Mm.
think Doc Enrico also, ganun din yung kanyang experience. Do you think, Doc Enrico, na online review for the PLE is effective? Meron ba siyang mga advantages and disadvantages, and can you tell us about it?
Mm. It depends po talaga on the study style of the person. Ako po personally po kasi I prefer reading handouts and answering practice tests. So for me, online review is effective kasi it matches with my style and schedule tapos flexible din po siya sa schedule ko. But for other people kasi who are audio visual learners, who would prefer actual lecture, it may not be effective for them and they would rather prefer na magkaroon ng hybrid na face-to-face setup. So, overall, I think naman po na online review is effective, but it would be better if meron siyang option ng hybrid face-to-face for those na gusto ng ano, ng online lecture para at least they can get to see their peers among them. Parang there's this sense of, syempre, may sense of solidarity ka, may kasama ka sa room mo, hindi ka mag-isa, nakatutok ka lang sa screen mo buong araw, may kasama ka, may kasangga ka, you get to empathize with your co-reviewees, and you also get to see your teacher in front of you. So there's that feeling for our other colleagues who would prefer to have face-to-face classes. Siyempre, kapag online class, yung perks niya talaga is nasa bahay ka lang, you get to focus talaga on your own schedule. Tapos, siyempre, less hassle ng pag-prepare, pag-travel, pag-commute. Kasi, siyempre, it will take time din talaga for you to travel from your home to the review center. Meanwhile, kapag may face-to-face naman, syempre yung advantage is you get to ask your teacher if meron kang hindi sure, and yun nga, mas tangible for you, and you get to really see yung mga models. For example, sa anatomy, syempre kasi anatomy, di ba, we know anatomy is a visual subject. So, minsan sa review centers, if may face-to-face man, they have actual models. So, isa yun sa mga perks ng face-to-face. Yan po.
So since tama ko 'no, Doc Enrico, most of your experience is online siya, yung setup.
Yes po, online po.
Ah, tanong ko lang is, during the review, did you spend time with like, reviewing with peers 'no? Halimbawa lumalabas kayo, or baka meron kang kasama in your apartment or in your condo na, kapwa mo nag-aaral for the review, or mostly you were on your own?
Yes, Doc. Actually po, yung co-intern ko po sa PGH, si shoutout po kay Doktora Micaela Gacula if you're watching. She was my constant study buddy. So we would study sa Starbucks and CBTL dito sa Padre Faura kung saan ako nakatira. Para mga at least we would study once a week or once every 2 weeks outside para man lang, magpampaiba ng environment kasi, minsan you get to have cabin fever kapag you're in your place for a very long time. And also may times din po na I would go to Quezon City kasi doon naka-stay yung kapatid ko, yung nagre-review siya ng civil engineering board exam. So, ayun po. Pero nung February to March, talagang I was here na talaga in my condo. Parang na during those times, parang I felt na parang sayang naman if I will go out pa. So, nung February to March, I was just here lang talaga in my condo po. Pero nung ano po, nung last week na ng board exam, my family went over na kasi parang they wanted to give moral support sa akin sa pag actual day ng board exams po. Sinamahan po nila ako sa venue, yung
Oh,
mom
okay.
ko.
Talagang napaka-supportive, sabi nga natin 'no, napakaganda ng support na 'yun 'no. Just to share my own experience, kasi during our time it's COVID naman 'no, so my family cannot really go, but I was staying with my fellow takers of the boards during that time. Okay, another question is, do you think that a student should review or enroll in a review center, or pwede siyang mag-study on his or her own?
I would advise pa rin na to enroll pa rin in a review center kasi siyempre the review center kasi is more systematic, more organized, and they give you materials that are very high yield. And of course, they will also prescribe you a schedule that you may follow, especially for those na naguguluhan pa and they cannot organize themselves. And siyempre, yung cons din kasi when you study on your own is that um, minsan parang you get to be lost along the process. Parang you get to focus only on one subject, parang hindi mo siya ma-integrate sa iba. And also there's also this sense of course, parang security na parang yung alam mo or yung alam ng iba alam mo rin kasi siyempre parang yung iba nag-review center tas ikaw alam mo na you're also in this review center. So at least parang alam mo yun, parang yung setting the MPL kung tawagin natin. So yeah, I would recommend pa rin na mag-enroll ka sa review center. Pero for others na medyo parang may have their own system, hindi naman for me hindi naman need na you should be strict na kung ano ba yung sinabi you should follow. Parang kung if you have whatever makes you feel comfortable. For example, if you feel comfortable integrating multiple subjects in one day, then do it if it works for you. But overall, I would still say na it would be better if may review center ka para man lang at least meron kang safety blanket.
Okay, so that's very very nice response from Doc. Ito Doc, no, very common question din ng mga students. How do you deal with distractions? No, meron ka ba mga distractions during the review, and how can you stay focused and at least minimize or avoid these distractions na alam natin takes a lot of time of our reviews during the boards?
Mm. During the review po, I think one of my biggest distractions was social media. Syempre may times na I would doom scroll, hindi ko na namamalayan na ilang oras na pala akong nakatutok sa ano ko, sa phone ko. But then thankfully, with the help of my friend, yun nga po yung nasabi ko si Doc Mika, yung study buddy ko, she introduced me to this application called YPT sa Play Store. As in yung YPT yung pangalan niya, Yul Pumta yung full name. Helpful siya kasi it locks your other apps tapos it tracks your study hours per day and the number of hours you allot per subject. So for me, parang fulfilling siya kasi I get to see my progress per subject. Like I get to see kung ilang hours na ba ang naalat ko for anatomy, for pathology, ganun. And it also helps din kasi nilalock niya yung mga social media apps. And also nung mga bandang February, ina-install ko na talaga yung ano, yung Facebook, Instagram sa phone ko. Pero may mga cheat days pa rin. Siyempre, we have our browser sa laptop. Parang minsan kapag pagod na talaga ako, sabi ko, eh, deserve naman ay SOCMED break. So I would go to my browser, go to Facebook, see the news, kung anong mga bago. And pero overall pa rin, I still tried my best to minimize those distractions. I would always think na sabi ko sa sarili ko na itong board exam na 'to, malapit na. You should take this exam seriously kasi ito na yung pinakamahalagang exam sa buong buhay mo. You're aiming for something high, 'di ba? So, please stick to your goal kasi after this exam, you can have all the fun that you want. Pero now, konting tiis lang. Parang yun yung sabi ko sa sarili ko and kapag kapag may times na I would feel burnt out and parang gusto ko na lang mag-SOCMED. Imbes na mag-SOCMED ako, I would call na lang my mom or my uncle and I would talk to them, parang get some recharge, so parang social recharge from them para at least ma-redirect ulit yung focus ko sa aral. And helpful naman po yung ganun for me. And of course, eliminate distractions like number one, yung phone. So while you're studying, please keep your phone away from you. Yung ginagawa ko, yung phone ko, hinahide ko siya sa cabinet sa taas ng ng kitchen para malayo siya sa akin. And I would only go to my phone kapag scheduled na ng break ko. Ganun po.
So ano, no, ang number one distraction would still be your phone and your social
Opo.
media.
Yes
Uh,
po.
Shout out to YPT, ano, as recommended by Doc Enrico, no? Maybe I'll get to check it out as well. Okay. Ito Doc, no, another question, no, that a lot of students encounter is burnouts. Did you had
Mm.
any experiences? Did you had burnouts during the review? And if you had, how did you deal with it?
Actually po Doc, ito po yung advantage na nag-March ako kasi I got to gradually step up my game. I got to gradually increase my study hours. So hindi ako nabiglaan na like yung tipong after internship agad ng August, diretso agad 12 hours at least na aral. Hindi. So I got to gradually step up my study hours and it helped me adapt. Like yung katawan ko naka-adapt siya gradually na buong araw ko naka-aral up to March. And dun ako naka-feel na ng anxiety and parang somehow burnout nung March na, 2 weeks before the board exam. I was having self-doubts na sabi ko sa sarili ko, I've been telling myself na gusto ko mag-top, I'm aiming to top, pero what if I don't top? How will I feel? Ano bang magiging feeling ko? Will I be grateful to Lord that I top, that na hindi ako nakatap pero I passed? Parang those were the what ifs that came into my mind. And I'm thankful lang na nandun yung family ko during those critical weeks. Kasi during those weeks parang hindi ako masyadong productive. Medyo nagbaba na unti yung study hours ko during those time kasi parang I was feeling na what if I just went for October na lang. Pero inisip ko naman din if I go for October, I'll be delayed ulit. Tapos baka yung mga inaral ko makalimutan ko na. So yun po, during those times, during those last few weeks ng review na nearing the board exams, very helpful talaga yung company ng family ko po. And yung communication sa kanila talaga yung nakatulong po sa akin. And yun na po yung kanilang motivation sa akin. And of course, yung faith ko kay Lord kasi Talagang ever since po talaga nag-start yung review season, I would go to mass talaga every Sunday. Parang never ako nag-absent ng mass every Sunday. Tas yung Misa de Gallo din nung December nakumpleto ko lahat. So yun po, yung faith ko kay Lord and also with my family din, yung communication ko. Those were the things that helped me overcome yung anxiety and potential burnout. And of course, coffee from Pick Up. Yun po.
So shout out as well to Pick Up Coffee, no? But kidding aside, definitely no, a strong support system is very very important. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi sa mga students natin at Focus, do not isolate yourself no in a way na wala ka nang kinakausap and you're just doing review. No, very important yung family, friends, fellow takers for the PLE, nakakausap mo sila from time to
Mm.
time. Okay. Syempre, no, being one of the top notchers of the recent PLE doc, do you think, no, topping the boards is about intelligence? Is it about strategy, or is it about consistency, or a combination of any, or any other thing?
Honestly, it's a combination talaga of everything. But what really matters talaga is consistency, diligence, determination. You need to be consistent talaga na every day you should study. You should try to keep your distractions at a minimum. And also strategy. Some people or peers would say na, oh, mas nakakabilib yung mga nag-October kasi syempre parang angas nila, ganyan. But for me, it takes maturity din to decide to take the March boards. Kasi when you delay the PLE to boards, syempre you have, like me, I had a goal in mind. I wanted to top the boards. So I was having this strategy in mind na I will delay it so I will have ample time to study. And for me naman, wala naman din talaga yung intelligence, although may component naman siya, pero hindi siya sobrang prerequisite for you to top the boards. One of my co-top notchers, hindi siya Latin honor nung med school, pero he placed top 4 siya nitong PLE. Yun, actually a couple of them are not Latin honors nung med school. And even our top one is a retaker, but he topped the boards and sobrang ano talaga sa kanya, saludo sa kanya si Dr. Chaso. Yun po. So, going back to the question, I think what really is important is determination and consistency talaga. And also, you should also have faith din, faith kay Lord, and also, you should also need to maintain communication with your family. Yun nga po, don't isolate yourself during the review. You need your source of strength and inspiration during the PLA review talaga for you to keep going para hindi ka mapagod for your future patients.
So if you are not a very good student, let's say, no, hindi ka Latin honors in your pre-med in med days, pwede pa ring mag-top, no? Pwede pa ring mag-top, no? Definitely, no? What's more important is consistency, no? According to Doc
Mm.
Enrico. Or shout out to Dr. Parchato. We came from the same school, no? I do hope sa mga audience namin, uh, keep subscribing, no? Kasi baka we can have him, no, in our channel for an interview as well in the next few sessions that we have. Okay, no? So of course, Doc Enrico, you passed the boards. You are one of the top notchers of the board exam. It's very difficult to deal with someone na hindi naman pumasa sa board exam. No? I'm
Mm.
sure you have siguro mga peers or someone you know that did not make it in the March 2026 PLE.
Mm.
What can you say to someone, or what can you advise someone who did not pass the PLE?
Of course, I would definitely say na please forgive yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to cry it out. But please make sure to eventually get up again. Kasi uh, for sure your family would not want you to be in that state for long. Your loved ones. Eventually get back up on your feet and at your own pace, doc. Uh, Eventually go back to your passion and love for studying, learn to fall in love with studying again, and eventually you'll get that license soon. Just make sure that as you move forward, please learn from your mistakes. Kung ano man yung shortcomings mo in the past season, wag mo na siyang gawin. Please have more discipline with yourself. Um, of course, helpful din po, Doc, if you find someone whom you can study with, mga peers, para may kasangga ka at kasama ka sa review. Kasi um, may times talaga na you would feel na nag-iisa ka na lang kasi naka-move forward na yung mga kasama mo. But it would help if you would find groups or mga channels where you can have networks with other takers na pwede kayong magkasama-sama para you'll have each other's backs then. And always, like I said, don't forget to always talk to your family and loved ones and also kay God para may source of strength ka. Eventually, you have your license then and I'm looking forward to see you on the other side.
Yes, no? So, amen to that. And definitely, napaganda nung sinabi nito ako, no? You can get back again, makakabangon ka uli. But what's more important than that is learn from the mistakes na nangyari, no? Kasi
Mm.
syempre, definitely something happened. And what's the good thing about it? You can correct it. You can improve yourself and eventually you'll get there. Kaparehas namin, kaparehas ni Doc Enrico that is already on the other side. Okay, so yan yung mga questions natin. Of course, siguro ang last na tanong ko sa iyo, Doc, or second to the last.
Sige po.
Uh, Salamat sa mga answers mo na napakaganda. But what are your future plans? No? So ano na ang susunod na kabanata at aabangan namin kay Doc Enrico?
Opo. So, ayun po. So, currently, balak ko muna talaga spend ng time with my family kasi syempre I was away from home for several years. Hindi ako nakapagpasko sa bahay, New Year, during my duties. So, I plan to catch up with my family. I also plan to do moonlighting pero baka light moonlighting lang, baka baka 2 days a week lang. Kasi for me, parang ayaw kong malulong sa yung tipong you're going to tire yourself out during moonlighting to gain money. But for me, ano lang, kahit saktong ano lang, income would be okay. Kasi I also want to dedicate time also for preparing for residency. I plan to take internal medicine. So, during this free time, balak kong magbasa-basa ng Harrison's din. And of course, plano ko rin pong tutukan yung physical health ko. Siyempre, during the review, I kinda neglected my physical well-being. So I want to go back to jogging, going to the gym, learning new skills. Plan ko rin po mag-driving school kasi hanggang ngayon di pa rin ako marunong mag-drive ng kotse. So isa po yan sa mga goals ko during these gap months before pre-rest starts. Maybe this October sa ano po. Hopefully PGH. Fingers crossed. Yun
So
po.
ano, no, PJH pa din, no? I was thinking, saan kaya si Doc? Will he go back to PJH or will he go to residency sa Leyte? So hopefully, no, PJH, I hope, what, no? One day magkita tayo talaga in person, no, when I go to Manila and things like that. But good for you, Doc, definitely, no? Just take your time, no? Yan ang ma-advise ko rin sa'yo, no?
Hmm.
And enjoy the moment, no? Definitely, no? Huwag mong masyadong madaliin yung sarili mo, no? Because whatever the path you may take, no, para dun sa mga nakikinig din dito na you already passed the boards and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life, no? Tandaan nyo lang, no, nakapasa na kayo ng PLE, you have already hurdled one. Okay, na very, very important or big challenge in your life. Ano, no, wala nang essentially, no, you can do anything, no, anything that you want as long as ano 'no, yan ay siyempre unang-una nasa plano ng maayos, okay, and definitely you love what you do, 'no, yun yung pinakamahalaga sa lahat. Okay, siguro Doc 'no, before we leave and, um, iwanan kita iwanan natin yung ating audience, just one last question and yung last na payo mo sa mga takers natin na susunod, what is one mantra that you can pass to the next generation of PLE takers?
My personal mantra actually was a Bible verse. If you guys know Philippians 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So, pinost ko yan sa wall ko. Tapos dun sa taas ng Bible verse, I placed there, manifesting to be a top-notcher this March PLE. So, nung start ng review ko, pinost ko yan sa wall ko, and I will always look at that Bible verse. And nung natapos na yung PLE review, tinanggal ko na lahat ng mga post-its ko, pero yung Bible verse na yan, iniwan ko lang yan sa wall ko before I went home to Leyte for the waiting game. And yun po, through God's grace, I passed and topped the boards. So hanggang ngayon, nandiyan pa rin, nandiyan pa rin sa wall ko yung Bible verse na yan. So yun, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Yun yung Bible verse na nag-work for me. And I hope it does for you as well.
Amen to that. No, so yeah, no, so you can do all things through Christ who will give you strength. Definitely napakagandang mantra. I hope everyone no adopts that. And of course, no, maraming salamat Doc Enrico for being with us and being so generous with your insights concerning the PLE and everything concerning your journey. And of course, sa lahat ng nanonood tonight, maraming salamat as well for watching this video. If you are a med student or if you are a clerk or a PGI that is also dreaming, no? Look at Doc Enrico, no? He was once a dreamer. Napaganda, no? Because he had the direction na gusto niya talagang maabot. He wanted to be a top-notcher. He pursued that. He was once a dreamer. Now he is already a healer. So tandaan ninyo, no? Di kailangan perfect. Sabi nga ni Doc Enrico, no? You just have to be consistent. Sabi niya, you just have to pursue that dream. You just have to stay focused and your time will also come. So again, Doc Enrico, maraming salamat. Can we follow you in some of your social media accounts? Baka pwede mong i-shout out sa shout out to your family or friends. No, this is just the last portion.
Okay. Okay po. So if you guys want, you can add me on Facebook, Enrico Jose P. Gomez. Instagram, my username there is Enrix, ENRICX _ Rix, RICS. And shout out also to my family, to nasa Leyte, my mom, my very hardworking mom. Thank you po sa sacrifices that you've made. Right now, graduate ka na sa aming magkakapatid. Lahat kami mga professional na. Thank you for your hard work. As well as my also my relatives at home, my partner who's currently a medical clerk in UP. So kaya mo yan. I know you can do it as well. And also to my colleagues na nakapasa ng boards this March. Congrats to us doctors, and I wish all of us luck in our next chapter in our lives.
Okay, and of course, maraming salamat din, Doc Enrico. I hope no someday we could have you as one of our lecturers here at Focus Review Center. We're looking forward to that. And of course, definitely makikita natin ulit si Doc Enrico in future sessions. So once again, maraming salamat, Doc Enrico. Maraming salamat sa mga nanonood sa atin right now. Again, this is Doc Chino from Focus Review Center. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you can like and subscribe the video. It will do a lot for us. Yung lagi kong sinasabi sa mga students namin, stay healthy, okay, no? And stay, okay, no? Focus. Maraming salamat. And for doctors, we will see you on the other side once we pass the whole. Thank you very much and good day, everyone.